Good afternoon, everybody. Just got in my tuner, which I talked about in the previous video. I was buying a tune for the GTI here, 2015, and did come. And so I'm gonna just do a quick walkthrough of me uploading the tune to the car, flashing it, and then afterwards I'll do a little bit of a drive to compare it to the factory tune on the GTI. So when you order it in the mail, I went with the Eurodyne Tune. I explained in the previous walkthrough basically why I went with the Eurodyne Tune. Basically because I want to be able to change tunes without going to a dealer or a garage, and be able to flash back to my factory tune if I need to without going to a dealer, or if I need to go up to the next stage or change parts. I don't want to have to go to a dealer and pay them an extra fee and stuff like that. It's just much easier to pay a set price. Get the tool yourself, flash it with your computer. If you want to change tunes or not, you can. It's just great to be able to do that. So that's why I went. And with my previous cars, I've always just had handheld tuners. There isn't really one for this car yet. For the Mark 6 GTIs, there's mostly these same kind of tuners, and then also Cobb came out with the access port, so that's more of a handheld kind of friendly one. But this one does require a laptop at least, which is not a big deal. It'd be nice if it was all in one little handheld thing, and then you could upload them from your computer. But this is no big deal. Still better than the other options. There are other laptop options like the Unitronic tunes and stuff like that. But I went with Eurodyne. A lot of people seem to like them. They make good horsepower safely, and you can swap them around, not have to pay extra for stage upgrades and stuff like that. So that's basically why I went with it. So far, this is a completely stock GTI. Nothing is different about it. Factory intake, factory exhaust, all that stuff. So I'll probably be going with the stage 1.5, which is their lowest. I don't think they have a stage 1 anymore, but they just have a stage 1.5, which is just basically this is the way I perceive it, at least, is the stage 1.5 is just for basic cars, and then stage 2, then you have to have some sort of a downpipe, at least like a catless downpipe or a high flow. So basically when you order it, this is all. It comes in the mail in a nice box. Comes with your little power tap thing here. A USB cable plugs into it. It just says focus here. It says power tap on there. Eurodyne. It seems like a nice thing. It has a nice metal clip here where it locks in. With some little status LED lights on the bottom there where the USB cord plugs into. But anyway, it's just a basic interfacing device here with your just normal USB plug on the back here. So that's just very basic, but where the magic really happens is I got my computer here, and then you go to their website, and they'll send you this details, and it comes with a piece of paper in the packaging that details what website to go to. You just go to their website and you download their application here. So right over here in the corner, it's called Eurodyne Flash, and that's the type of application you use to flash all of your tunes and stuff like that, bring it back to stock, forms like that. So, and when you do it, it'll come up with this nice little box here where it says click to start, screensaver disabled. It should do it, but I always go down, whatever computer. This is a Windows laptop. This will only work on Windows. So I always want to go into your battery or screen savings, power and sleep settings of your computer, and make sure your computer doesn't go to sleep during this process at all, just to make sure nothing gets screwed up. See, on mine I have for the screen, on battery power, and on sleep to never turn off. Just you don't want your computer going to sleep when it's flashing, is basically the deal there. So before I click to start everything, I just what I'm gonna do here is I just got a nice microfiber towel. I'm just gonna set the laptop up here because this is gonna take a little while. So I'm just gonna set the laptop up there so then I can just let it do its thing. I do have the key fob down here in the car. So I'm going to go over here, grab my cable. fire open the door, get my OBD2 port down here. It's probably too dark to see, but it's nice and purple on VWs, which is kind of interesting. There you go. Wiggle her, make sure plugged in nice and good. And I'll shut the door here and run the cable up to the computer. And when you do install the software on the computer, it'll install all the drivers for the power tap device. I'll get the stupid USB the right way. There we go. So when you install the program, it'll install all the drivers too. So, and what I like to do right off the bat, it's gonna probably make you do it anyway, is just turn on your ignition. Just fire up the ignition. That's all you got to do. And what I always like to do is make sure the radio's off, because it's gonna make sure your radio's off over there and that your lights are off. Because if you have driving lights, so they do recommend, if you're unsure about how great your battery is, just to hook up a battery tender to it, just to make sure your battery doesn't go dead. But mine's pretty good, so I'm pretty sure it'll last. So I got all my lights off, my radio off, any kind of climate off, stuff like that. The ignition is on, so I'm going to come up here to my software. It says click to start, so that's what we'll do. Boom. Alright, and right away we're going to hit up here. Do have a DSG tune you can buy from them. I'm not sure how much it costs at this time. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into it yet, but you're just going to click this one over here. This will just flash the ECU from their server, and it'll just check a few things: what kind of cable you have, what kind of device, or what kind of engine, and it'll read your VIN code and stuff like that. And then it'll pop up with the tunes down here, the different ones. So the top two, the IS-38, those are for the upgraded turbo you can get from the Golf R. So they do have tunes for that right off the bat, which is kind of neat. Here are some stage 2s on the bottom, and down here is your stock. If you want to flash back, they have a normal stock tune, a performance pack for the limited slip differential ones, and the slight horsepower bump ones, but I don't have that. So we are going to go down to the stage 1.5 because it's the lowest they have, no bolt-ons required. And then I'm going to do the 93 octane, since I always fill up with 93. Now they do have a 93 high torque and a 93, and the only difference here is the 93 will give you much more, I don't know much, I think it's 20-30 foot-pounds of torque in the mid-range, a nice bigger punch there. They do recommend, if you do that, to run the car with their DSG tune, because you might get some torque being pulled from the car as you go, because the transmission's only set up to allow so much torque. So you may, if you don't have the DSG tune, it may do that. So I've seen on different websites, I don't know if it's from the guy who tunes these, but that if you want to run the high torque, you should run the DSG tune to allow that full torque. So I don't have the DSG tune, and I'm factory, everything. So I'm just going to do the 93 octane. They're on version 8.2 here, and I'm going to click download selected file and flash ECU. And then it'll take a little bit here, and it'll check, telling you make sure your ignition's off. Okay, and it says make sure ignition on, engine is off. My ignition is on. Gauges are a little bit lit up, but everything else is off in the car, like I said. And boom, it is off. So I will go ahead and click OK. And it just a little warning box telling you about what's going to happen. It's going to take as much as 40 minutes. Make sure your laptop's plugged in. Mine isn't, but I have a full battery charge, so it should be good. Make sure you don't really have any other, programs running on your laptop. You're not updating things, stuff like that. Just you want to have one application open. You don't want the computer to go to sleep, in a nutshell. Boom, and we'll click yes, continue. And on the bottom there, it'll say different faults will show up. That's normal, like down here in the instrument cluster, some goofy things will happen, and you know, the radio will turn off and on, and Bluetooth audio over there showing stuff's popping up, and as it gets ready to flash, there it shut off again. There's some wacko stuff going on, lots of fun, and we are going to get this beast tuned up, unlock some horsepower and torque. Alright, and if you come up top, you will see here, looks like it's flashing block 6. I'm not sure. When I was looking at, I think there's 12 blocks total on the ECU, so I think it flashes all of them. If I'm not sure, I don't know why it just starts with 6, but it'll erase them and then start to write them. So this is going to take a while, so I will come back when she's done. Okay, and we are back, and it got done flashing here. So right when it gets done flashing, it'll pop up the screen saying turn off ignition. So it seems to be done flashing, so we will turn off the ignition. Okay, come back up front here, and then you're going to want to click ignition is off. Reinitializing the ECU. Please turn ignition on. It's telling me to do here. So I will come back in here, turn it back on. Gauges go back on, everything's good. Come back up front. And click ignition is on. Checking some things in the background now. Let's see, but the green bar is still moving. I think I hit it. Oh, okay, I guess I must not hit it. Say flash cable updating database, and up top it says done. So, click here to start. That's how you know we're all done. It says done up here, and then click here to start it, so we can go ahead and close this. Unplug our cable. Come back inside. We can turn back off the ignition. Go back under here, unplug our cable. And we should be good. So, like I said, that's about it to flashing the tune. So I'm now on stage 193 octane, and so I'll take it for a drive and give you guys some impressions.